So the government of the day, Labor government, wants to legislate a 43% emission reduction by 2030. Will you vote for it?
Look, we know I have been really thankful that the government has been happy to work collaboratively on this. So they have given us a briefing on their draft climate change bill, and we've been able to have meetings to clarify certain questions, and definitely we'll be putting in submissions as to how we think it can be improved. But we really do need to have that consensus building and that collaboration so that we do come up with a policy that is enduring. I would say that 43% we know is not enough to keep global temperature rise to 1.5 degrees. So there does need to be a mechanism within this draft bill where we can ratchet up that target.
And is that mechanism there on your read of this legislation?
This legislation is tied to the Paris Agreement, so that ratcheting up is part of the Paris Agreement, but we would like to see that as more explicit within this bill as well.
Why is that necessary? Because, I mean, the Greens say they see it as a ceiling, not a floor. Are you of that view?
Look, I think that they're still designing the bill as we go forward, and they're taking suggestions and recommendations. So we'll see what comes out of all of this process. But we do need to have a mechanism where we can review the targets every 5 years, and that if it is necessary, we can ratchet up so that we can meet those targets.
Okay.
Overall, the aim is that we try and keep that global temperature rise so that we can have a livable future.
So how do you differ from the Greens at this point on this particular piece of legislation?
Well, I'm working collaboratively with the government. We've got certain suggestions, particularly around the independence of the Climate Change Authority. We know that if we want to be able to trust that authority and we want it to be science-based, then those appointments do need to be independent. We need an independent board that is working on the science and not politically driven.
That does sound very similar to what we heard from Adam Bandt on Sunday. Is it fair to say that you are a bit closer to the Greens' position than Labor at the moment?
I'm working with Labor on this. They're the ones that have got the draft bill. I have heard bits and pieces of what the Greens are saying, and definitely we'll collaborate and listen to them as well, because, as I said, we need to work across the political spectrum, from everyone, from Greens to the Nationals to Labor, Liberal, everyone. We need to build a policy which is enduring, and that means building consensus as well.
Is your red line no new coal and gas?
I don't have a red line. I think what we need to do going forward is to act on the science, and if the science is telling us something, then we need to be responding to that.
Okay, Sophie Scamps, see you in Canberra.
Thanks so much.